distinguished speakers and participants of the International Conference on Theology, Religion, Culture, and Humanities. A warm greeting from Indonesia. My name is Mutiara Andalas. I'm a systematic theologian, belong to Catholic Religious Education Study Program at Sanata Dharma University. I would like to share my theological exploration on the issue of weaving women in Southwest Sumba, an island of Indonesia. Allow me to share screen for you. Weaving economic resilience, weaving salvific economy of God. The theological narrative of the traditional thread-weaving Southwest Sumbanese women of God as the weaver who sustains life. This academic paper articulates the theological narrative of traditional thread-weaving Southwest Sumbanese women of God as the weaver who sustains their lives. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought to the forefront of the social life of the Southwest Sumbanese women, whose main daily activities are thread weaving in empowering the economic resilience of the family and furthering the community. The uncertainty of their husband's income from their primary jobs, even suffering forced unemployment due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the instability of the family's economic income from the result of decreasing monetary value of growing crops in their fields and raising livestock around the house cause economic turbulence. The economic contribution of the Southwest Sumbanese women from traditional thread weaving activities to support mainly the family survival and even the economic resilience of the community is incredibly significant. Professional theologians easily overlook the active involvement of traditional thread weaving Southwest Sumbanese women because the activity took place in domestic space. In the daily routine of weaving economic resilience, these informal theologians reveal the narratives of God. In exploring the depth of the narratives of God, I, as a member of professional theologian, applies the theological framework of the Latin American and Asian feminist liberation theologians that give centrality to women's daily lives, la Cotidiana, in domestic spheres such as kitchens, front and backyards of the houses, fields, and markets. I apply a qualitative research model with a descriptive analysis design. In-depth interviews took place with 17 thread-weaving women as research informants in August 2022. With their feminine genius, these informants recounted the narratives of traditional thread-weaving Southwest Sumbanese women of the salvific economy of God as the weaver who sustains their lives. Keywords in this research are Southwest Sumbanese women, thread weaving, la Cotidiana, economic resilience, and salvific economy of God. I would like to mention 3 other names beside me who jointly conducted this academic research. The first one is Elizabeth Dewi from Catholic Parahyangan University, Diah Ayunda from Catholic Parahyangan University, and also Ita from STKIP Betabula, who recently transformed into university. These women do weaving collaboratively to produce woven cloth. Theology actually comes very late in this academic research. After listening to the narratives of economic resilience, I see the possibility of furthering this research by listening the narratives of God as the weaver who sustains especially women's life. Tableau, the cup-shaped crown opens upwards like a crescent moon enthroned above the head, which later becomes the identity of Sumba women. Tableau is related to beetle, areca nut, and its place, Kaliku. In Kaliku, don't break the beetle nut, don't split the beetle nut. Tableau is also associated expressively with the pot, padalu, and the womb. In household life like in Sumba, padalu illustrates women's primary responsibility to sustain household welfare. It symbolizes the centrality of women's role in protecting and preserving family life. Come on in, accept women's responsibility to fetch water and blow out the fire. As in the past, the womb opens itself to accommodate life. Tabelo and other feminine symbols I found in clothes produced by Southwest Sumbanese women. To maintain the continuity of the household, not a few Southwest Sumba women maximize the weaving tradition in the culture to earn income. Often the mass media is only preoccupied with broadcasting the beauty of women fabrics, but rarely exposes the tears and sweat of the women weavers behind these beautiful fabrics. Ultimately, we are used to glorifying regional fabrics only to show off narratives of regional success and state's role, and not at all bringing up stories of women who work hard to produce these fabrics. In line with feminist scholar Gadis Arifia from Indonesia, I would like in this research to reveal the tears and sweat of Southwest Sumba women weavers, and also to give centrality of them in giving economic resilience during the COVID-19 pandemic. And even for this research, I investigate further the narrative of God as the weaver who sustains life. The weaving motifs resulting from the efforts of the women weavers of Southwest Sumba more or less describe their daily life and their hopes in life. Womb, flower, and crescent moon are some of the feminine motifs we often find in women's weaving in Southwest Sumba. These motifs present an ideal picture of life and shape the identity of Southwest Sumba women in their daily routines. At the same time, women gave new interpretations of these feminine symbols to become feminist when weaving these motifs, such as floral motifs that go beyond the conventional understanding of society that places women in the ideal image of a feminine figure with a beautiful appearance. The women weavers of Southwest Sumba learn from the history of their predecessors, as we can see also from this picture, who received materials entirely from the generosity of nature. From this, they capture the intrinsic connection with Mother Earth and depict through the flower symbol. Mother Earth is present in women's lives as one who bestows welfare amid a crisis. In weaving activities, women represent the figure of Mother Earth in the current context. The beauty of women is first and foremost visible in the action to defend family life and society sustainably, and the economic crisis as a follow-up impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. They can earn a minimum of 100,000 Indonesian money for a woven shawl cloth from a single piece of woven cloth. Meanwhile, they can earn Indonesian money for a cloth with a larger size for the sarung, 250,000 until 2,500,000, depending on the complexity of the motif and the length of time it takes to work. However, they could have made more profit from the sale of these woven fabrics. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Southwest Sumbanese women weavers rarely weave and keep the woven fabric as stock for buyers who need to order. Storing non-custom woven fabrics requires an investment that exceeds their economic capabilities. Saving woven fabrics risks reducing their capital to buy woven threads. Money from the sale of woven clothes is the major capital, even the only one, for them to provide the thread. Storing woven fabric stocks risks hampering their weaving activities due to limitations, even the inability of woven threads. When there are few orders, they immediately sell the woven cloth to the market, hoping to return home with the thread. As Mama Agustina told while weaving, there is no help, woven threads, only us. We have to buy our own, but if we don't weave, we have no money. If we don't sell woven fabrics, it won't be easy to get thread again because, yes, the results of the woven fabrics come from here. Because we buy this cloth, we buy more woven threads if it sells. Amid economic pressure due to the COVID-19 pandemic, when reduced orders for woven fabrics forced them to stop weaving to save expenses, women remanage the family economy from the domestic spheres, such as gardens and kitchens. They live more modestly by minimizing household expenses that require them spending money on the market. To fulfill their kitchen needs, they take logistics materials that they grow in the garden. They switch from rice to corn and tubers. They sell household livestock products such as chickens, pigs, and buffaloes to meet their emergency needs with large sums and without payment delay. The pressure to meet economic needs is very vulnerable to derailing Southwest Sumbanese women weavers to pursue targets for mass production of fabrics, such as factory machines. Despite trying hard to meet consumer needs, the women weavers refuse to follow market logic. The physical limitation of women in producing clothes in mass quantities due to using non-machine weaving tools, rather than weaknesses, become their strengths amid the globalization of the economic paradigm. Mother Earth bestows ecological wisdom on women weavers that globalization of the economic paradigm with a libido reaping unlimited benefits instead of growing closer to, away from the abundance of life. Weaver women learn from Mother Earth, who fulfills the necessities of life in moderate abundance. Learning from the tradition of our ancestors, one of which we can still see the legacy of in the weaving dance, women's economic resilience in the creative weaving activities has ecological characteristics. Weaver women learn to explore nature without being exploitative to it. When they still take threads and dye materials from nature, women tend to their dependent relationship with the earth. Women experience the earth as mother which guarantees their survival. The earth provides welfare for women weavers. They patiently wait for earth's creativity to color women fabrics when women soak them in the river. Realizing that weaving takes the earth's wealth, protecting biodiversity is their vocation. At the same time, the economic resilience of the women's weaving activities, especially during the COVID-19 pandemics, has limitations. Women's hard work, even working overtime in producing woven fabric at home, provide economic empowerment to families to survive amid a financial crisis. However, weaver mothers know their limitations in ensuring overall charge to meet all family needs. A daughter from a weaver family, for instance, this one, who had just graduated from high school, put her dream of continuing her education to tertiary education on hold due to her parents' economic limitations. While waiting for the family's economic empowerment, she helps her mother weave with the hope of earning money to pay for college. And I'm deeply touched by her faith that her weaving activity soon will provide her her tertiary education level. The economy of the women weavers of Southwest Sumba is in and around the house. Women carry out economic activities in their locations by weaving, cooking, and gardening. The weaving room, kitchen, and garden are the central locations for women's economy. Researchers easily overlook the centrality of these spaces because women often need to quantify their productive activities. When asked about the income from producing a piece of woven cloth, they answer with boxes of threads they could buy for their next weaving activity. Likewise, when asked about the nominal amount of money they receive from selling woven cloth, they answered the remaining threads they could use for weaving after producing a piece of cloth. These answers remind me of Catherine Marshall's book entitled Who Cooked Adam Smith Dinner? A Story of Women and Economists. We need economics. We need to value non-monetary value of women working in domestic sphere. Women does not calculate their economic contribution to the family economy in comparison to, moreover, in competition against men. They need help answering such model questions. Both men and women contribute to the family welfare. In their view, women take great responsibility in the family economy. Weaver women, who are primarily at home and around the house, fulfill this responsibility from the domestic sphere. The significant contribution of women weavers in family economy continues with economy of the Sumba society. Overcoming the superiority-inferiority paradigm in the family's financial contribution, women weavers, without difficulty, see put themselves and their male partners as the backbone of the family economy. Women view their relationship with men in the responsibility of the family economy as a relationship of mutuality. Home fields and farms are the exclusive domain of men. When field crops are falling in the market, women's looms move almost non-stop. Women bring a woven cloth to the market when no livestock is suitable for sale. When bringing home woven fabrics that have not been successful in selling at the market, women are willing to walk home on foot to save on transportation costs. The activism of women weavers in saving their families' food security and economic conditions during a pandemic is deeply rooted in Mother Earth. Women's economy is close to trees, land, and water. The agency of these women in protecting and caring for the earth was evident when the previous generation of weavers still did it by taking all materials from the earth. They take plants to process them into woven threads. They use natural ingredients for fabric dyes. Until a few decades ago, the earth became the first home for women in weaving activities. When holding the ritual before the weaving activity, they asked Mother Earth to grant them prosperity in life. Likewise, the family economy from weaving rests on the hands and feet of women. If you walk with your eyes on your feet, you can travel far. As I said at the beginning, theology comes last in this academic research. So for my conclusion, I try my best to explore this research theologically. The narrative of women weavers in Southwest Sumba amid the COVID-19 pandemic about God begins with the experiences as women who work hard to defend life through weaving activities for economic resilience. They learn a lot from generations of women who preceded them and spoke of Mother Earth as one who bestowed natural wealth that met all their needs in weaving activities. Even though thread weaving now relies almost entirely on basic materials they need to buy from factories, they still view economic resilience as a gift from God. Through Mother Earth, God has guaranteed their survival during the COVID-19 pandemic by providing harvest to the plants in the gardens and giving health to the livestock they raise around their homes. As Sandra Harding has invited me to see science from below, the women weavers in Southwest Sumba challenged me as a professional theologian to narrate theology from below. Amid the pressure of globalization, of the economic paradigm operating at the local and national level, weaver women gave an example of living in abundance without exploiting nature. Personal encounters with them who struggle for economic resilience led me to God's economy of salvation. God works in these women weavers, lives lives through the activities they traditionally carry out as women in domestic spaces. Women's involvement in domestic sphere that provide economic resilience in life, the local community, and even nationally reveals the narrative of God as the weaver who sustains life. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. And it will be a pleasure for me to further discussion with all of you. Thank you very much and have a nice day.